This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. I hope you're having a delightful day. It's so fun being with you in these online lessons. In this video, I'm going to go over some movable chord shapes for minor, major, seventh chords. So right now in the lesson series, we've been focusing on learning major seventh, minor, major seventh, major, minor seventh. Sounds like a big bunch of nothing, but those types of chords, we've been learning how to play them in first position, and now we've been working on getting them down as movable chord shapes, which is super fun. So in this video, we're going to take a look at minor, major, seventh chords, and then we're going to jam together on a chord progression so we can work on mastering those chords. So it's going to be great. Of course, we'll have bass and drums accompaniment to help us as we play that progression. So it's going to be super useful. This video accompanies Lesson 22 from my Chords and Harmony Books 1 and 2 Method book. In the book, we're going to start on page 145. There's an explanation on page 144 as well for minor, major, seventh chords, but I've gone over that in a previous video, so I'm not going to really do that again here. We're just going to look at these movable shapes. So those are on page 145. Then we're going to be on pages 146 and 147 jamming on progression number 3. All right, let's take a look at these shapes. So like all the movable shapes that we've learned in this lesson series, from the bar chords to add 9 chords to the sus chords to the seventh chords, whatever chords we're playing, we've got a 6th string form and a 5th string form. And you'll remember, if you've been going through the lesson series, that means that we have a form where the lowest root is on the 6th string, and we have a form where the lowest root is on the 5th string. And then wherever we position the shape along the fretboard, it's about what that note is that tells us what version we're playing, or that determines what version we're playing. So if this note is sitting on a G, we're playing a G minor major 7th chord. If this note is sitting on an F, we're playing an F minor major 7th chord. We're going to learn them down here at the 3rd fret. So with the 6th string, that's going to be, this is a G, so that's going to be a G minor major 7th chord. And then on the 5th string, that's going to be a C minor major 7th chord. So that's what we're going to be learning. And then as we jam together in the progression, we're going to go through all 12 keys. And so it's going to be, we're going to get to all of them. But let's start off here with the 6th string form shape. With this one, we use our index finger to bar across the top 3 strings, or we can just bar across the 2nd and 3rd string and mute the top string. We don't have to play the top string if we don't want to. That's why it's in parentheses. But we'll be barring there. We put our middle finger on that root in the same fret. We also use that finger to stop the 5th string from ringing because that one's muted. Then our ring finger plays 1 fret higher on the 4th string. So down at the 3rd fret, I'm going to put my middle finger and index there playing those notes at the 3rd fret, and then my ring finger has to play the note at the 4th fret on the 4th string. Otherwise we won't get the minor or major 7 sound. So it's kind of a little bit of a squirrely fingering perhaps, but you get used to it. It's not too bad. With this one, I'm just getting used to it with the string pattern that we've been using of late with these movable shapes, which is this do, dot, down strums in both cases. And you can even slap the strings in between each of the strums. Gives a little percussive sound, kind of nice. So just a great way to get used to that chord shape. Let's take a look at the one off the 5th string. So we're going to stick this note at the C there at the 3rd fret as we're learning it. So we'll be playing a C minor major 7th chord. So we can bar across the top 5 strings so we can catch the top string and the 5th string. Or we don't have to. We can mute that top string so we can let our finger just kind of collapse on it and mute it. We do want to also use our index to kind of stop this 6th string from ringing in case we strum it doesn't ring open. That wouldn't sound very good. Then from there, middle and ring fingers on the 3rd and 2nd string, 1 fret higher, and then 2 frets higher, our pinky goes on the 4th string, and we get this minor major 7th sound. So in this case, C minor major 7th. And you can bar across and get that top string ringing. I usually leave it off. I kind of like just the inside 4 strings. Once you get used to that shape, it's great to go back and forth between the 2 shapes. They can be kind of hard to finger a little bit, so you just want to work your way back and forth between them, getting used to fingering them. When I was in grad school, I used to, if I was tired at night and I thought I still need to do some more practice, but I really just kind of want to be done for the day, sometimes I would, after dinner, if I had a TV show or something on, I would just watch the show and go back and forth between these types of chord shapes because it just kind of helped me work my fingers, work my hands, but I didn't have to think anymore for the rest of the day. So G minor major 7 to C minor major 7 there. Let's look at the chord progression that we're going to jam together on. So on pages 146 and 147, we're doing number 3. Starts out at C minor major 7. If we stick our root at the 8th fret, we got C minor major 7th there with the 6th string form. Then same thing at the 5th fret, we can do F minor major 7th. And then if we go down 2 frets, we do the 6th string form, we'll have the B flat. And then at that same fret, but on the 5th string, we'll have the E flat. And then go down 2 frets for A flat. And on the 6th string form, then D flat on the 5th string. Then stay on the 5th string form. If you go up to the 9th fret, you'll have G flat minor or F sharp minor. I should say G flat minor major 7th or F sharp minor major 7th. Then we get the B 6th string form at the 7th fret. E 5th string form at the 7th fret. Then A 6th string form at the 5th fret. D 5th string form at the 5th fret. Then G 6th string form at the 3rd fret. And C 5th string form at the 3rd fret, and we've gone all the way through that progression. That's a great way to do it. You'll see it follows the pattern of the last ones we've been doing. So we're going to play this 3 times, 3 different tempos. We'll start out at a slower tempo, then a medium tempo, and a faster tempo. I'm just going to be using that do-dot strumming pattern as I make my way through this. So it's going to be super fun. Let's go ahead and play this progression together. Alright, awesome! Can you believe all these chords we've been learning? It's amazing! In the next video, we're going to combine them together in progressions. We're going to play some other progressions together, jamming with the bass and drum accompaniment. We're going to do that in the next 2 videos, so we'll get a chance to really get into the context of what we might see when we're playing these types of chords, say in a jazz setting or an American songbook setting or some other song that uses these kind of chords. We're going to jam together on these progressions, get used to playing with all these movable shapes that we've been learning in the last few videos. It's going to be super cool. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to check out more great content. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.